of this, I think that 2 points. Kuku has every right to establish an institute in honor of former President Mills, and I understand it's a registered entity.
Yeah,
registered entity. So for that, onye boni and also fum rabra. But before the maminchia etiefo, namima yera Carlos Ahinkra, and then na woda.
Yeah,
I know. In fact, party ni koso the fourth floor. Parliament.
Okay, job 600.
Job 600. It's ongoing. Na yebesa kotwaso. Enti me mano official pa. Na Kuku has no edge on the side of the law.
94.7.
But of course, obi afie busuamu. Me nyi ni se bi hu bodem ni se na bodem ni ato kwan mu ha. Na yenim busuan for be from. The state will have to look for the family of the said, excuse my language, the mad person. Na oni busuan for no edi. So for that matter, I agree. Look, it also establishes between 2012 to 2018 na Kuku asu ewo maimu pa bemoaning the state of Asomdwe Park.
Yes.
Obi ayawe sabi baby I see former president of this republic ewo
94.7
na ukohwe se de hosia ye basa under the watch of the former President Mahama and the NDC for 4 years. Ewokruma na asefim. Wo hwe ehone pa menua ba Kuku kuntokwa. Now I don't want to believe say they were not doing it because it was Kuku that was leading it. But I think the then administration head say omahwe Asomdwe Park. To the extent say na ebusuafo no bi kra ka say egu omoni mu ase. Ti omunya ya nka omudi emu no kra be ko omu krom na omu akwa no yie. So for me, I think say Kuku's seeming rise to own Professor Mills as it were is because of the neglect and abandon responsibility of the NDC towards Asomdwe Park and subsequent treatment of the bad treatment of Professor Mills's baby I see. So to the extent say edu baby enye koda na be mu a. In fact, koda ansori keke say obem koda be mu because Kuku persistently was appealing to state institutions to support. And of course, we share the Marine Drive ni Coastal Development Authority responsibility say be promote tourism ni enhance development in the coastal belt of this country. Then of course, the management and the board deem it fit say the status of former President Mills say so of course, readily the person that was championing it na say but Honorable Atta Mills and Ramitie no our parliament now or addressing the press. Some of the allegations are not making also or you careful kakra. Impugning the integrity of government say these were the words of the member of parliament. But honorable rhetorical question I will be sano. But I mean for such questions are not obi or the dry day. Now how na mimi bisa say obi
Asempa FM
Yera Atta Mills nyamin fa ne kransie former president of the republic, his excellency oka baby yetu ena ibesie no yetu 9 eje na me no ka say ye nim enakro na omudi kire say ase no say baby esie no de da ho no de this are 9 no be ye no obi anim na nipa ba ko yetu 9.
But that was the understanding was that
Ebeye for other presidents.
Exactly. Now, Ebeye for other presidents.
So they didn't
Obi.
very prominent.
Obi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I've always maintained say yenya national bibisa na say head of state eka baby na ebusuafo pe. Me kai say yesie no won krankra na a problem ema family no. But I also know say in other jurisdictions you betumi sie no for a period of time. na ebusuafo no e de call because Kwame Nkrumah is here. And some of these things, it is to enhance national cohesion and of course tourism and all that. So for me, I don't have a problem. I said then, I ebusuafo no pre say you may see no war. Is their right? But I also think that a one national significance in Accra more than a twab where they wanted to bury him. So for me, NDC4, this is not the time for their internal fight because clearly over 1.5 hours I have to hang no NDC4 into my fin or musie who are bonting about Womuntokwa Womuni Koku and who did what. I'm not privy to some of these things. But Mr. Koku, first of all, Obiani, the pain he went through, and of course, how he's revered the memory of former President Mills. Rightly so, attachment and sentiment to particular individuals. It is more so than the family members of the said person. But of course, it doesn't also mean that no matter your relationship with the person, you become the family person. So, and also, now, Sebi, Udo Professor Mills, well, you have to respect the family, you love the wife, you love the children, and you love the entire family. And can be near, you work with them. So I can pray, nanka koda for nyame adom. Omaba be sum say ombeye bibi wo hono. And can quickly, if I were Koku, I would have run to the family. Because me call family no say na me matumi akọ boa na aban e pese sum say beye bibi. Well, Koku ye nesa. But of course, because of persistent call for say yemfa autopsy report emra na de no. Cadma Mills and then some Mills from MP.
Yes.
They haven't been happy with Koku throughout. So I wonder if Koku, because Okoshia family and then these are two most important people before any other person will come. So they wouldn't have gotten on to the stage, say, collaborating. But I think, say, we should not blame Koda. I think we should commend Koda. And then me bra penny, me senior, respected senior for that matter, Honorable Nilante Van der Poel, me ranking member for local government committee. I mean, very lovely person. I disagree with him. Say Koda should have consulted him or them as a MPs. I mean, certainly. Then you are also taking the role of Koku. So me, I think that Koku has done very well. But Otonibo na oni family no njia and these things will not happen. And of course, a bigger event is coming. Everybody want to play a role. Definitely, attention and NDC Dima, former President Mills, in memory. They didn't give the same attention to him when they were in power. They neglected the man and even his memory. And now I'm war position, Maybe they are not so much occupied. So they think that this would be one of the calendar events used to rally support for the NDC going forward. I mean, that's all I see. Other than that, when they had opportunity to have put in the place in the state, the intention of Munyaye and Kebebuano, Obi, Ufaho, and as the pictures are now a flow on us a media space. No one, na time. Ne go NDC for go money gas, ne go money mass. To the extent say it took the effort of Koku, we must acknowledge that. Meaning say Atamels honorable any era Nilante ni NDC for the 4 years Koku was crying, whether they've driven to the place and even see the state of affairs or some Koya, I can remember who said they would have joined forces with anybody or even plead with government to do it perhaps at a bigger level than Koda coming in. So Koda CEO Jerry Shaib Ahmed, me say on any board, in any management, I take a decision to do what they did. No, me it inspired me, and it's my friend, and I'm so happy. Say at least partisanship and did any kind. But he saw the importance of that national call. Now I go to the aid. But of course, if I were in his shoes, I won't bypass Koku because the institute at Mills Institute is a registered entity. Obian can say omo diponibi as omo pebibi. I mean, you say Koku beji sika omo say ono di kwa koye bibi. Now say ne Samata Mills question the integrity of the institutions. Procurement processes they want to be. See, I mean, how this becomes so petty. So I think, say, omunya butre na omu internal issues in there. It won't put food on our table. It won't help anything. This conversation had been on and off. Minjini, the family no per se, Makuku should even stand anywhere to mention the name of former President Mehus. They can go to court and restrain him and get a restraining order from Kuku. Say, henceforth, don't use our family, our brother is our family. There is a right to go to court to restrain him. Until they do so, they should keep quiet and let's have our peace.
But don't you envisage confrontation this Sunday?
I can see that. But Kuku that I know, they say this is also more no, no,
but so we are no pay. There will be several activities. They will be there. It is NDC for one bar. They should come and remove all of them. No, mayor,
and I think that
Can I say something?
there are forces within the NDC.
Can I say something? Obi,
yes.
Allah,
Hey,
me too happy.
Hey,
Emudi ain't happy.
Ni amu kano.
There, some caucus.
we are only preempting. There's a possibility.
Koku is not bigger than the NDC.
Ombebuno.
The NDC is an institution.
Ombebuno.
Big one. At that.
Big one.
The Mills Institute is an institution.
Size. What I say? You the two Moiresu say nakpa ne amiano. What I say? Intino. No, you see. You see, Adebi Wawa unim say Adiami King. You see, diplomacy. If you understand diplomacy, you don't fight in public. What I say? And NDC, we understand diplomacy. We understand diplomacy. Into your no, whatever diplomacy we are engaged in, you know, onima anka ombe kase ubindra simje park na national security for. The national security will be there, but they will be there to protect Ghanaians.
But I see omomu we omo dey anopana.
And I say
other events.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Koku doesn't have the power to determine what time his program should start and end. A state, you know, and a man time. What I say?
Now,
your time now. Young transient bought your stream.
Yeah.
And you decided to say by 1 o'clock. That's not what we did because we don't have the power to determine that time on our own. The program was a state property. Do you understand?
Yes.
It is a sad time now, but out now, yeah, official. Common sense should tell somebody, say, something must have been discussed at a certain point. What won't you? Yeah, that is your beef. Won't chew on it. But as an institution like NDC, you be a programmer. Na ya ko transina, ya ko ye yankasa ye plan. Ho ye digidi. And na ko asomje park ni owo ho bia ikotutu ni niam ato agu. We won't do that. Order we made to prevail.
On Sunday,
order. The state order will be made to prevail. Okay. And we don't have a hand in that order. The state has, and the state will do its work. Timo Biambe, you see that bravado style, Rambo, where Uber restraining will be, national security will do their work and whatever. National security is not there to beat people.
Obi, now I am in NDC for the sudden interest in Asumdwe Park.
No, you keep saying this.
Almost every year.
Which of the years now, ba Yanye program?
That
is not true. That is not true. To the extent, say, when this year can say why it was your tenure. Moba fufrona, muye yino, muna muyi margin free. So sometimes our party boys even had to go there voluntary to go and weed the grass. Because we have trouble for you say a wealthy, and the government then had neglected the place.
Obi.
The Osu constituency.
Yeah.
Osu Klote constituency. The guys in that constituency, the Osu part, led by Julius friend saying Kote, your friend Koche.
Okay.
A friend who grassroots chief of staff. You know, or no, he led the guys to go and lead the place. The social media guys on work platforms. No, so he mobilized them.
And that would mean from 2012 when he was buried.
And 2016, because we were in office, when we were in office, the castle was part of the presidency. You follow every day. And we couldn't have allowed that place to become as weedy as we saw in those pictures. So those pictures did not emanate during our time. Ono Kokuru, the problem, they say, he was expecting a certain magnificent edifice better than what we did. Because, of course, when he died, he only had 2 weeks or so
to prepare for the funeral.
To prepare for the funeral. It, this whole thing, had to be, fast track. They just had to get something to make the place look good before the 2 weeks were, by. So he was thinking, said, Yetimi, BB, to give it more, your friend is saying.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And when the grass by, that was when Koku was fighting hard. He was then, a friend is saying, part of the NDC leadership.
Why is he not?
No, NDC leadership.
Okay.
And it was in that capacity he was fighting the government then to fix the place.
The
Asumdwe Park. What you say? Let's not confuse issue to make it look like we did. Never did that happen. Some of us, we had our offices in the castle.
It was interestingly, Mene Kokwe didn't come over a couple of times, and he still blamed his own government, the NDC.
Yes.
Say the deterioration of the place that started when you were in power.
Please, I am saying, sir, when you say deterioration, what do you mean? What no maybe sir? Then I will patch. Say obi kotu efunu no.
Oh, Dabi.
Then a deterioration.
I'm for because family spokesperson no kind say a prostitute take you over the place.
Right.
Those things.
Fine, there could be issues, but Masa, is this the way to solve those issues? Is it not the same family? Sami Atamils. Neil Free, of course, is here, honorable. He was with President Mills from first day he sworn in as president till the last day he died. Do you love President Mills than him?
So a blood brother.
Yes. So you cannot fight Obitisa. You call and Ufu say, the guy is expressing the family's view on the matter. And then you rather want to make the guy look like a certain entitlement. Yebusa know about Sami, my friend is saying, Kofi Sam. What has he done for his father? Come on. Does that make you or entitle you to take over the person's memory or the memorials? No, it doesn't. What I say? Okay. So leave that part. And I say, if you want to do anything,
do it with the family.
Do it with the family. Now, because the whole Atamil's legacy, the mawa won't me handle. Now you are the you understand?
Not slide person provide. Slide now also code.
Yes. They've just sent me an information. I'm saying
almost statement, no.
No, not the statement.
Different. Okay.
A personal statement somebody sent to me. One of the deputy CEOs. I said the day Omokati sought to commence this business, the son of the late president was there.
Now Kofi Samuel. Yes,
yes,
he invited Kofi Samuel.
Yes, and he was there.
Please, does anything stop? Or project na omoye no eyeboni.
Oh no. Say the family being in the known. No.
Question me bisa only say.
It's about the family being in
cutting the sword. Okay, for the program. We invite a family. It doesn't mean say you have sought permission from them to do anything on the tomb.
Now, if you don't agree, look, the allegation of the tomb being desecrated is another matter that we have to. I'll talk to Koda people again. I'm not too sure. They go there.
Koda statement, issue,
yes.
They were quite emphatic, say, the tomb was not desecrated. And just wooden a be an wood tomb, and so
Massa, your friend saying.
So,
Obi.
That's what the statement
Obi,
said.
let me say something here. If my brother is buried in Osu Cemetery, my mother is buried in Osu Cemetery, my father is buried at the military cemetery. Osu.
Yeah, they were honor.
Yes. Do you think I can walk, even me as a family member, make me sorry, I say, me kwako alter something on the tomb without recourse to somebody? Maybe so. And for that matter, the a share park no so no, like cemetery no so no. You know there's an say omo ho na me maba say me ba be no, not even that. Omo pese omo ye facelift on my friend said me tumba. Do you think they have the right to do so without recourse to the family?
Okay, that point is well made.
But also family, no. For the son of former President Mills
to have been at the sword cutting,
constitute enough consent of the family.
It doesn't give you the powers to remove anything from the grave.
No.
At least from what we know.
No.
It's
an allegation.
The grave, you know.
It's an allegation.
Tomb a grave soa. Now we go to tomb now. Haven't you desecrated the grave?
No. I think you are going to.
You don't know what they call desecration.
I think you are going.
Maybe so. Do you know what they call desecration? Google it. Let's look for the word.
Who go too far with this?
No, please.
No.
Don't share word, no. Because I don't know.
No.
Swagger.
Who question dodo?
What's the son enia?
Swagger. Sebi. Yeah, it's in your bushia me papa Efremu. You were bushia for a cha woko yetum no kura juma. Ma wo siesie ne kama.
Be the tiles
do you just walk in?
No, but that point has been established.
And
it's been established. But you are going further, say the grave itself has been tempted.
No, so I'm asking you, omo e juma wo ho no. Omo right say tomb no baby apaya.
Now, ejuma na the extent of work, ejuma na omukwa akoye no. No, me nyindi say Sam Mills, Professor Mills' son, went there for a sword to be cut without knowing the extent of work. The scope of work.
No,
you can't say that. No, but when you are impugning,
come in here.
Swagger. You are impugning, say they even went beyond to even tamper with the grave.
That is what I'm talking about.
No, but that cannot be true. It cannot be true.
Either cover we no so no.
No.
Almost say scope of work in their statement.
Yes.
1. Redesign and construction of ICT lab, library, cafeteria, and artifact buildings completed. 2, and I think that's very important to conversation. 2, construction of a concrete shed and replacement of alucobond panels over the tomb of the late president.
How can you put the alucobond panel without taking the old one out?
And so I'm say that be almost a replacement of alucobond panel. Or my alucobond na
it's only alucobond now. You are seeing the grave.
No. Say nothing. There's the picture. It is tiles na granite tiles no more shower. This is what it is.
Before move share granite no that is saying.
Swagger. Wait. No, you are going
before
to.
You did granite no bet to swama na you see.
Body no. Now what's any pada? What's any pada? Tomb now we yesisro no. Enya is a
Master,
let's just say, please. It's been destroyed, been tampered.
With.
Yes. But that's your choice of words. That's your choice of words.
It has been tampered because original those of very
Now speak into the microphone. Speak into the microphone.
Has been changed without recourse to the family. That is the point.
But I disagree with you.
You can disagree.
I disagree with you. Obi.
It doesn't change the facts.
The scope of work has been mentioned here.
It doesn't change the facts.
It does. Because first, the allegation was
consent of the family.
That is the point.
It's been sought.
It's debatable.
You think
how do you say
because
it's debatable?
Kofi was there during the sword cutting.
Mebusa Sam Mills said President Mills banner na owo. And I'm saying the banner is not the family.
So who is the family?
As a family head of family.
The head of family.
Yeah.
So Nibano is not old enough to see the look.
To represent
the family. Yeah, he's old enough to represent
He's
the family.
not.
But are you saying he's not old?
Unless he's been designated.
Exactly.
But that's what you don't even know.
And it's not
That's what you don't. That's what you don't even know.
No, we know.
That's what you don't know.
We know. That
the brother is also not the head of family.
Who said?
No, he is not.
He's not.
He was
not
sent here.
Who told you?
No, see what he tells us. They say the new head of family who will be sworn in this Friday. Cadman Mills. But he will be sworn in on Friday as the new head of family.
Okay.
No, Cadman had to come here. Not Cadman and Kaseba, but he just offer you as bedru awie.
Na Cadman na crowd me no no problem efa ni brother wo no. Ni brother no wuti asem okan. Wuti asem okan. Or say ni brother he suffered a massive stroke. And he lifted his hands and said, God, unto your hands I commit my souls. And he died.
Obi
was suffer massive stroke.
How is that your problem? How is that your problem?
Swagger. Obi was suffer massive stroke. Unto your hands I commit my soul. And died.
Massive a year. Does he lose everything?
At the time, was suffer massive stroke. Now one man is as watching Yango.
Look,
we are not playing games with these things.
Now Obi was suffer massive stroke. You see,
Obi was suffer massive stroke. No, that's not.
What I say, Obi don't worry. I am a human being, and I always want to be measured when it comes to matters like this.
One after the other.
I told you the role of a family.
Yeah, but you are playing mischief here.
I'm not playing mischief.
You are playing mischief. You are playing Anoma Kokone Kone. You are trying to chase yourself. It's not right.
Look, I've always said this. Anytime I hear Cadman Mills talk about the brother, then it beats my mind because.
But maybe he's speaking the truth.
No, but Obi made President Mill's illness. President Mills when they were doing some against President.
The worst is that Moody politics the campaign. But me, Nipewua, they respect the family system and all that. I've made that point clear. It doesn't also mean that if I have a problem with Cadman. Now I've always made that point on air. Me tell ask me who jury me. Me tell ask me who jury me. Look, what I said about Kuku, I still stand by it. But the fact that the son represented at the function, whether he didn't represent the family or not, me, I don't know. I don't know. And I've made that point clear. But also not to say, the place has been, the grave had been tempered to the extent that member of parliament is suggesting, say, can you imagine that? Nobody went into the grave.
Before they put
nobody went into the
grave.
Or
the marble there, no. Now what is saying?
Now, unim say.
So no say a wooden panel, like wooden.
We don't almost wooden panel. So when you take off the wooden panel, how will the place?
But you don't get into the grave. When you take off the wooden panel, you don't get into the grave.
And who was there to supervise what went on?
No, but your suspicion is when we wooden panel now.
Yes.
Ube who grave in him?
Now ube who there?
Asempa FM.
No, please. I tell 40.
No, you tell me. Don't tell me what you
see. Former president who na musi no. Edua keke na mode kata body no
because who the floor that talking about. Obesa anua feel it. Answer na what concretize. No why you wooden panel.
O the anua feel ni here.
Why you concrete also? Now the wooden panel not so.
As a thousand
better wooden
before I would we no better so no. How who supervised it? Which family member saw it?
No, that's another argument.
Yeah, it's not another argument. That is the argument.
But it doesn't.
It's not another argument.
It doesn't also mean that they went into the grave.
Who saw it? Please. Who knows what they did?
Please.
Who knows? Who knows? Under whose authority?
Hey, where's the Obi?
And any elections, my name is Professor Mills, and this is for donors.
The Asumdue Park was built as a recreational facility. I recall the Mahama government through Larry Bevlo Latte the then National Security Coordinator, introduced some animals, including geese and goose, some huge cows from Southern Africa, among others, to the place. Okay. It is not therefore out of place to have people resting there in the afternoon, smoking some stuff here and there. Maybe we should ask the government what happened to the animals. Larry Dogbe. And now, Larry, it ain't go for no no. Do you dig a grave in anticipation of more death? Koko has done well. He should be applauded, not condemned. Where was Edu Asare when the place was abandoned by Mahama and the yes men and women? Samuel Atamils saw nothing wrong when Asumdwe Park was abandoned and the NDC and ex-President Mahama. It was, okay, I say he should invest that same energy into advocating and raising funds for the opening of the abandoned library in Cape Coast. Samuel Brian Boabeng Awoshi. Paul de Suso in Worcester says, Obi, what at all is Sly defending? I just cannot come to terms with him. Is he telling us that seeking permission from his son is cool? Is that what he, Sly, is trying to teach us this afternoon? That now children can speak for the whole family? Let him stop the mischief. Anyways, you see what bitterness has reduced Kokwanyi the whole two. Now his bitterness is making him shed fake tears on radio. Oh, but I didn't think that it was fake tears. You see the secrets that are now coming out to show he was nobody. His disrespect of President Mahama when he was the spokesperson of the late President Mills is what is putting him into this state. Obi, in our culture, as people from the Volta region, you cannot touch the tomb of a dead person without consulting the dead person's family. Koko should work on this bitterness and move on. Thank you. Paul de Suso. Massachusetts, US of A. Obi, ask Honorable Edu Asare. Per his comment, is he saying President Mahama didn't like the simplicity of his boss? That was the reason he left the Jubilee House. He left the Osu Castle after his demise. Nanam Ponsa Bede Akon question no Edi Abreye. Ekosiisen. Muntie we